Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel and a match review looking at how FC Barcelona won yet another game away from home in 2021 as they defeated Osasuna at Estadio El Sadar with a 2-0 win. The win sees Barcelona keep their place in second and move within 2 points over Atletico de Madrid and 3 points clear of Real Madrid, both of whom are due to face off on Sunday in the evening in a match that could have huge implications on where the title winds up going. So as we normally do with match reviews, we'll look at how the teams lined up, then talk about Barcelona's performance on the night and discuss negatives and positives from the game, as well as pick the man of the match. But first, a quick reminder to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video so you can keep up with all the FC Barcelona match reviews on this channel. So let's go straight ahead and look at how the two teams set up. Osasuna set up as we were expecting with a 4-4-2 with the following players. In goes Herrera, the back four of Vidal, Aridan, David Garcia and Sanchez, the midfield four of Torres, Toro, Moncayola and Ruben Garcia, and up front they had two-man partnership of Clery and Kike Baja. Barca on the other hand stuck with the 3-5-2 formula that has brought them lots of success recently with the following players. In goal, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, a back three of Longley, Umtiti and Mingueza, with Alba and Dest in the fullback positions and Pedri, Busquets and De Jong through the middle with Messi and Griezmann up front. Let's now briefly look at how Barcelona performed in this game. The first half was a tightly contested affair that lacked heavily in goal-mouth action. Osasuna played with two banks of four in front of their goal as expected, but surprisingly for most part of the first half it was Osasuna that had the better opportunities to break the deadlock, as Barca needed Marc-Andre ter Stegen to come up with two big saves either side of a Jordi Alba strike. Barca did at times look nervous on the ball, but you kind of expect that when you're playing with your 100th centre-back combination of the season. Without Dembele on though, they also suffered from poor movement ahead of their ball carriers, and it took a magical pass from Lionel Messi to play in Jordi Alba, who then produced a top-notch shot to beat Herrera in the Osasuna goal. Osasuna then almost equalized a few minutes later after some wonderful play by Ruben Garcia, but Marc-Andre ter Stegen was equal to his attempt and he kept the score at 1-0 at the end of the first half. The second half started with Koeman taking off Umtiti for Dembele and switching to a 4-3-3. Despite this, the second half itself continued the same trends as the first, as Osasuna continued to do a very good job of closing down the spaces in midfield where Messi, Griezmann and Pedri all like to operate. This meant that it was easy for Osasuna to repel Barca's attacks, and as the half wore on, Osasuna began to grow in confidence as they found more joy on counter-attacks, with Barca having less bodies at the back for cover. Unfortunately for Osasuna, they were never really able to make anything of the brief moment during which they had the upper hand on Barca, as Koeman switched back to the 3-5-2 and Barcelona finally found a game-clinching second goal via the boot of young Ilaix Moriba. The youngster now has 2 assists and 1 goal in 3 appearances for Barcelona. He was also set up by Lionel Messi, who had a quiet day on the goal-scoring front, but not so much on the assist front. As a result, 2-0 was the final score on the night. I will now talk about the negatives and positives from the performance on the day. Much like in the 5-1 win against Alaves, my negatives this time around feel a bit nitpicky. There were a few things like how we were losing all the second balls and also the poor movement ahead of our ball carriers, as I had earlier on mentioned. But when you take into consideration how much football this group of players has played over the last 7 days, those things feel more like consequences of fatigue, especially when you notice how with fresh legs on during the last 10 minutes or so, Barcelona looked more energetic than at any other point in the match. So my hope is that Barcelona doesn't suffer the same symptoms of fatigue in the next match that they play against Paris Saint-Germain. So with all that said and done, let's now talk about positives from the match. First and foremost, it has to be the fact that we have kept our 4th clean sheet in a row. It just so happens to have been the first time that we have done so this season, and it's the first time that we have kept 4 clean sheets while also winning 4 matches since way back in the 2018-19 season when we last won the league. A big part of that was of course Marc-Andre ter Stegen, as he seems back to his confident self, probably owing to the renewed confidence of playing in a more solid defensive structure. My second and final positive is once again the youth. At the time that the final whistle was blown, Barcelona had fielded no less than 7 different players aged 23 or younger, and it was the youngest one of the bunch, Elias, who shone brightest on the day as he scored a beautiful goal. But watching Barcelona close out those final 7 minutes with Dembele, Ricky, De Jong, Elias, and Mingueza and Dest all on the field and pressing the life out of Osasuna, it was a moment of beauty, and you can't help but be hopeful and excited about the future and about what that young core of players can grow up into. Righty then, I will now move on to talk about the man of the match, and today marks a special occasion in Blaugrana Everything history because for the first time ever I have picked 2 players for the man of the match award. In my preview, I had said that Barcelona would be looking to Messi to once again supply them with the cheat codes for a dub, and once again the Argentine wizard was able to do so as he assisted both goals on the night, with the first assist in particular being one that any playmaker would be proud of. But I was reminded today that this Barca team has also got another player who on his day can supply them with cheat codes for a clean sheet, and that player is none other than Marc-Andre ter Stegen. For the second game running, Germany's most underappreciated person made big saves, shut out the opposition, and I feel like today's performance put him right up there next to Messi in terms of playing a crucial role in the win. So for today, the Man of the Match award goes to Lionel Messi and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Well, that's basically that for my match review, ladies and gentlemen, but there's just one thing I'd like to point out regarding the events of the past 7 days. I kid you not when I say that Barcelona were in a position where they were just 3 bad results away from their season ending pretty early. But the team has been able to turn all of that around, and they find themselves in the thick of a title race that they had been ridden out from months ago. I remember pundits from a certain American sports channel saying that Barca would struggle to even make the top 4. Obviously, I thought that was just silly nonsense, but I also thought that talk of any title challenge this season was similarly silly nonsense. But here we are looking at a team mounting a title challenge, and as a proponent of giving credit where it is due, I just have to say full credits to Ronald Koeman and his people for even putting this team with all the issues it has on and off the pitch and all the injuries and the presidents, that despite all of that, they are a title challenging team, which is more than what anyone would have predicted or expected. So anyway, I just wanted to tip my hat off to Koeman and his people because PSG is coming around and I might not feel like saying kind things to them come the end of that game. So thank you for tuning in, guys. What were your thoughts on the match? Who was your man of the match? Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Have a great day and Forza Barca.